Live League Game of the Day. Featuring Sirth Give as Adder versus Vilfort as Adder.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sammy Original Guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another
Live League Game of the Day.
Today, folks, truth be told, I'm lying. That is the name of the map that we are playing on today, folks. This is a triple base airport and comm tower supported matchup here. We got Vilfort and Sirthgive as players today. They are two of the best to do it at the moment in the live league. As we can see here, Vilfort is rated number 12 overall. Sirthgive overall has the number 1 position in the live league standard ladder. Now, considering that the top 10 players are actually just kind of, some of them are just alts of the exact same character, so I would say that this is probably actually more like number 8. So I'm going to say Vilfort is probably number 8 overall. And I'm going to stick to that, folks. I'm going to stick to that. You know, alts are a thing. They exist. Can't really do much about it. Vilfort, number 8. Top 10 player when it comes to the live league. That's what we got going on here, folks. And we got ourselves an Addermere today. So Adder, you know, he's the movement champion of Advanced Wars by Web. He's able to move pretty fast. Not too often. Well, pretty often, but like sort of often. Often enough that it's worthwhile. Now, if we take a look at the map, folks, we can see here we do got that super strong side. What the heck? Super strong side. All right, there we go. I accidentally made my drawing smaller, and that's no good. So super strong side over here. That's what we got, because we got the airport, we got the base, and the base. Now, as we can see here, this is going to be a super strong side. You're going to have 3 bases over here, essentially being able to put pressure on the HQ. Now, vice versa, obviously, this side is going to be able to do the exact same thing. You do got to go over here and try to grab the center if you possibly can, which I think is going to be generally not too difficult to do. But it might be kind of difficult to do, folks. It really just depends on how the front lines look here, because you only have 1 base over here. Now, this base is going to be responsible for pretty much holding the line over here. Now, you do got multiple choke points right here, and right here. So, technically, this base could bunker up down here and defend the HQ region over here fairly okay. You do got this airport over here, which can shift over Aryans to come and defend as well. So these players are going to have to make a choice. It's like, do you want to use the airport to attack the HQ and completely dominate this side, which will eventually lead to the win? Or do you want to split your forces and do sort of a 2 and a 2 situation over here? Now, if you do the 2 versus 2 situation, obviously this guy could come over here with 3, and 3 is better than 2 overall, so you got a 1.5 times chance to lose, I would say. Or maybe win. I don't know. Depends on how you look at it, folks. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field. It is the number 1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Number 2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action. And now Vilfort, in the number 1 position, is moving his infantry down to capture the neutral base. You got to get those neutral bases, folks. They are super important in order to pump out those units. If you aren't pumping out units, well, you're probably going to lose. And that's just the way it is. So pump out units, folks. All right. Now, I might go a little bit slower here, just because I want to kind of analyze some things that are going on here. Now, obviously, Vilfort and Sirthgive, they are much better than me when it comes to Advanced Wars by Web. When it comes to my official Live League rating. I am around the early 1200 region. So I'm not a 1300. I'm definitely not a 1500. So I'm very curious to see what these guys are going to do in this game. It's very curious indeed. Now, so we can see here, Surthgive is putting a lot of emphasis on getting that airport. So I think the airport is super important here, folks. Got to be getting those airports. Probably the number 3 priority in Advancements by Web, without a doubt. Now, considering that Surthgive has a 5k in the bank, 7k coming in next turn, it does actually make sense to get the airport, because if he wants to do the strategy where he goes early battlecopter by triple infantry afterwards, he's going to have the money to do that, which could be very good. I mean, Vilfort, he could obviously decide to counter it with an anti-air, but depending on where you buy the anti-air from, the battlecopter will just go to the other side, which is just going to force another anti-air buy. So that's also going to put one player, so i.e. Vilfort, in a position where he's down a unit, because you can't buy an air unit and an anti-air at the same time, especially when you don't have the airport capped. So that's the other thing too. I mean, you don't have the airport cap, you can't bust out air units. But we can see here, Vilfort, he's got the tank. He's busting out the first tank of the game over here. Now, Surthgive, I really want to see if he's going to go the route of getting the battlecopter triple infantry by. I think that's probably, it might be what he's going for, but he might just decide to buy a tank as well. No, he's going battlecopter triple infantry, folks. See, when you got the money, folks, you might as well do it. Now, battlecopters are a very, very good buy when it comes to the first unit. It completely changes the flow of the game, because now your opponent is forced to respond to the copter. And yeah, that's it. You're forced to respond at this point. So the tank can move up, and the tank could even possibly do some damage. But at the end of the day, folks, a tank cannot beat a battlecopter. It's not going to happen. We can see Vilfort has actually doubled down on the tank games. He does not show this copter any respect. No respect whatsoever. He's just like, double down. I'm doubling down over here. All right. Now, there is definitely the possibility here that he's doubling down on the tanks because the battlecopter has not chosen which front it is going to go to, which is a key factor in where you buy your anti-air. Because if you, let's say, for example, you buy your anti-air out of this position right here, boom, battlecopter just goes over here, and then you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to take you multiple days to get over there. Meanwhile, the battlecopter moves here, battlecopter moves here, battlecopter gets free strikes over here on this position. Like, it's easy for a battlecopter to just shift over and do that kind of stuff. Obviously, you can buy an anti-air over here as well, but by that time, then your opponent's going to start busting out tanks. Tanks everywhere. And tanks beat anti-airs as well, folks. So, very curious situation. Very excited to see where this battlecopter is going to go. There we go. There we go, folks. We got the tank. Base skip for a tank. The base skip meta continues. Surthgive, he is a notorious base skipper. He does not even need bases. Man might as well just play base light. There's absolutely no reason for him to have 3 bases. He never buys 3 units. It's impossible. I've never seen him do it in his entire life. That's a filthy lie. He's actually done it like multiple times this game. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, notorious base skipper. We've got another flipping battlecopter. The notorious battlecopter is on the field here, ready to drop some sick beats all over this battlefield. Now, the tanks are moving up here. Vilfort, he's busted out the battlecopter. The battlecopter is here. But the battlecopter is here. But this is the problem. There's no anti-air. There's no anti-air purchase anywhere. So that means that Surthgive, he gets free battlecopter hits. And who doesn't like free battlecopter hits? Like, everybody enjoys a free battlecopter hit. Unless you're the one getting hit by the battlecopter, you love free battlecopter hits. There's no reason not to. Ooh, interesting. All right, so he stops the income instead of the comm tower. which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Vilfort, he's only at 16k. He's going to be at 17, 18k next turn, which is, you know, pretty good. It is pretty good, folks. But as we can see here, Surskip is already at 19k. So by keeping Vilfort at 18k, that does put him at a guaranteed income lead. Very cool. Very cool. Very nice position to be in. Doesn't really push up a little or very far with the rest of the team. Doesn't really want to do that. You know, we want to keep at a safe distance. So temporarily, Vilfort now has a calm tower. And he is going to be going for another property. Ooh, he gets the double tap. He double taps the infantry. And it is gone. It is out of here. It is gone like yesterday's garbage over here, folks. Alright. Boom. Ooh, tank's getting pretty adventurous over here. Going all the way up to safeguard a city from Surskip's capture. Very, very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Now, there is definitely... there's a lot of damage that can happen here, folks. Multiple infantry hits, definitely, for sure. I think there's... there's an attack here. There's definitely clear on this battlecopter. And then there's an attack on this infantry over here. Or alternatively, nope, just this infantry right here. That's it. All right, so let's see what Surskip decides to do here in this situation. He's obviously going to go for the easy clear right there. Get the infantry attack. Boom, does the damage, gets the extra clear. Moves the battlecopter forward, gets the additional clear. And then shimmies the rest of the army down to the front lines. Because you don't want to keep it in the back lines, folks. Because the front lines, that's where the fighting happens. That's where you need your units. Very interesting. All right, so... once again, he could go for the comm tower, but he decides not to because obviously Vilfort's got multiple units in the area ready to cause multiple attacks. And he's outnumbered. He's outnumbered, so he's not going to push forward here. Vilfort, he was hoping that he was going to do it. He was like, yeah, he's going to go up here. He's going to try to camp that comm tower, and I'm going to just annihilate him. I'm going to just blast him into smithereens over here. There's absolutely no chance. No chance this man is going to be able to survive that attack. For I am the mighty Vilfort, and I will destroy all my enemies in quick time. But unfortunately, no, Surskip, he did not fall for it. He did not go for the attack. But Vilfort is also not going for the comm tower. He's got one comm tower already. He's ahead in firepower. He's ahead in properties now, too. He's got 20 properties. 26 units. This man's dominating. He's dominating the battlefield right now. But unfortunately, he has lost several infantry, which does put him at an unfortunate situation because he is behind when it comes to units, but he's ahead when it comes to value. And he's lost a tank. Oh my. He's just lost a tank. That tank got pretty adventurous here. Oh my lord. Now the comm tower is being captured, folks. He's going for that comm tower. He gets the 7-7 split in the center of the map. One of the most unfortunate splits you can possibly get in Advanced Wars by Web. Actually, the 6-6 split is probably worse. Yeah, I don't really... well, technically, the 7-6 split is the worst one you could possibly get. Actually, no. There's worse. There are worse. But we're not going to get into that, folks, because I want to keep this as depressingless as possible. Nobody needs to talk about the dreaded 8-5 split. we don't need that over here, folks. All right, it's now day 11. Day 11. Vilfort. The mighty Vilfort. Multiple properties are being capped right now. It's a highly dangerous situation. Highly dangerous. Is he going to be able to stop these captures? That is the big question right now. He can stop 1. He can stop 2. But for how long? Technically, he can stop 3 and he can stop 4. But in order to stop all 4 of these caps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to basically sacrifice your entire army in order to do so, which is highly ill-advised. You don't want to be sacrificing your entire army just to stop some caps. I would not recommend it. But he's going to be using that side slip, folks. He's side slipping all over the place. There we go. Beauty. Absolute beauty. And he gets the double shot up north. There we go. Going for a capture. Going for an attack. And then getting the surround. Putting himself in a fairly strong position, although unfortunately, it does appear like this is a breakable terrain right here, because there is an attack here and there is an attack here, which means this is actually not as safe as it looks, folks. Now, if there was an additional unit here, maybe it might be possible, but it does not appear to be the case right now. And Surskip, he's got that power. He's got a power available. He can use it too. He can pop it. But is he going to pop it? That's the question. No, it's not even a question. It's guaranteed, folks. He pops the power. He's got that +1 movement. Let's see what he decides to do with it. He sends the tank south to obliterate the infantry. 8 HP infantry gone out of here. Out of the game. Going for the double cap. Join caps with 8 HP left on the unit. Goes in with the battlecopter. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but does some damage. Manages to clear a tank right there. Boom. Does an additional attack. Now it's a 1-1 right there. 1-1. Very curious that he goes up like super deep in here to attack. There's lots of battlecopters are in position here. This battlecopter is going to come down here, but that's going to leave at least one battlecopter like pretty safe. Curious. Very curious. 23,000 income in the bank though, folks. Like, what is this man going to buy? And there's the break on the artillery right there. Pretty straightforward break, you know, all things considered. Definitely breaks through that. Now, I like the thought of this position, though, because if this was going to hold, this artillery would be in a perfect spot to guard this tank over here. But unfortunately, that was just a little bit exposed. So, not really much we can do about that. We got the flipping recon on the field here, folks. The reconnaissance unit. Recons, are they good? Yes, maybe. Shout out to the old cynical boy. The recon enjoyer of Advanced Wars by Webb. Boom. There we go. Got the old double attack over here. Both battlecopters sustain heavy damage. But one of them is definitely in one-shot range over here with the 8 HP left on it. So that guy's probably going to get one shot. But he might not get one shot. Because Vilfort, he's got multiple units in the area. It's so difficult to actually really determine who is ahead right now, because there's a lot of attacks up here. Like, Surskip does not really have a lot of units. And this attack looks like decent, you know? It looks decent, but these properties are being capped over here, and that's mega dangerous. That is mega dangerous. So it's almost like Surskip is willing to lose the majority of his army down here in order to guarantee these caps. Like, both of them are going through. He's gonna have that money, folks. He's got the money in the bank. Like, let's just see it. And the flipping recon getting immediate value over there. Like, let's flip and go. Shout out to the recon crew out there. They are just wreaking havoc all over the place. And now Surskip has a comm tower, and he's got 23 properties. He's got 23,000 money per turn. That's gonna allow him, if he wants to buy the tank, or the tank, anti-air, or the battlecopter tank, infantry, something. He's gonna be able to do it, folks. He's gonna be able to do it. Oh, when he fails the roll. Very unfortunate. You hate to see it. You hate to see it happen. Sacrifices the battlecopter to do 3 points of damage to the opposing battlecopter. And then he comes in. He does not allow his 1 HP battlecopter to explode in vain. He manages to destroy it with the infantry, so everything works out. Although he's got 21 seconds on the clock right now. He's got barely any time. Does he even have time to think? That is the big question, folks. It's like, how do you even think when you got no time? Lots of people, you know, they like to spend their time thinking. No, Surskip, no, he doesn't. Doesn't need to have any time to think, folks. He's just going to be on autopilot now. But as I did state previously, and some things that I have read in the Advanced Wars by Web Discord when it comes to people playing live, especially when people are fairly highly rated in live, or just fairly highly rated in general, is some people, they will like to use a lot of their time early so that they can guarantee themselves a winning position so that they don't have to try as hard later. Now, I find that sometimes that does work. Sometimes it doesn't work. You know, just depends. Just depends on how good you are, folks. I mean, if you can win the game super early, then, you know, go ahead and win the game. You might as well. It's no reason not to win the game. But yeah, sometimes, you know, it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for some people that are heavily gifted through sheer grit and determination and skill. Alrighty. Doing the old shift-a-rooney here. So we got kind of almost a mirrored situation over here, but I would say right now Vilfort is in kind of a sticky situation here. Kind of a very sticky situation. Like, I almost feel like he might have to just cut his losses over here and just stop on this line. Like, I don't think that he can push up here. I think he might have to, like, if he's gonna stay in this game long term, he's got to send all these copters over here and start bashing this. Bust out a tank every single day. Hope that you can take out the anti-air with the tank and use the battle copters just to punish over here. Then maybe hold the line. You got to recap the properties. But it's like, it's a weak side, you know? This is still that weak side over here versus a strong side. Let's see. Strong side. There we go. That is an S, folks. It's just sideways. Yeah, we got ourselves a problem. Let's see what we managed to do here. So we take out that. Gonna get the interrupt. Got a second interrupt. The problem with this interrupt down here is this is not gonna hold long term because there's an attack. For one, that's an attack that can happen right now, and then this is just gonna join cap. Then we won't be able to stop that. Does pretty much stops the cap in the middle though. That's nice. And he's pushing up north. He's not stopping. He's not stopping the attack up north. But he does shift over most of the battlecopters. So it's now day 14. Day 14, Surskip. He takes control of the game once again. The battlecopters are moving down. One anti-air has been taken out. Super interesting. Super interesting right here, folks. This is one of the most interesting plays of all time. Very, very interesting. Did that just seal the deal? That might have just sealed the deal, folks. I don't know. That's one of those situations here. Now there's actually like almost nothing. There's almost nothing. If he attacks here, the HQ is under threat. Battlecopters can't prevent the HQ from being under threat. Unless you sacrifice a battlecopter to attack this infantry and then buy yourself a little bit of time, which could be could be, folks. State 15, we got the power. Power hasn't been activated. There we go. Managed to get the old attacks, attacking up north. Going for those northern attacks. Going for the double cap over here. Infantry pushing up. Very cool. Very cool. You'll have to see it. And we break the infantry with the anti-air. Busting out the tank, but I don't know. Yeah, we resign. We resign from this position, folks. Unfortunately, Vilfort, he fought hard and he fought well. But Surskip is just so deep in his territory right now. He's about to steal 3 properties. That's going to put him at 27,000 income per turn. And it's going to put Vilfort down to 17,000 income per turn. Now, no matter what the board looks like at this point in the game, it's like a slow decline at that point. Because even if Surskip only gets, like, let's say maybe 2-3 turns or something with an actual 10k deficit, well, that's going to put him like 30k ahead in just 3 turns. And I don't think Vilfort is going to be able to keep up with that. So congratulations, Surskip, on the win. What a match. What a match indeed. But hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.